He said that Jesus Christ has risen, and he is the open door.
Well, how you doing, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Cajun Conservative, where I talk about life, I talk about liberty, and we talk about the pursuit of happiness. And we're showing the world that Cajuns are smarter than your average Democrat. How you doing, everyone? Hope you are having a good day, good week, wherever you are located. Had to change up the slogan a little bit. But right now, I hate to say it, I think everyone is smarter than your average Democrat. We're about to get into that, ladies and gentlemen. I got a jam-packed show today, ladies and gentlemen, and I will be talking about the Texas shooting, and just we're gonna get into that. But if this is your first time, welcome to the Cajun Conservative Show. Absolute blessing for you to be here with us today. Glad that you can join us. If you like the content that you are listening to, please remember to hit the subscribe button on Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Anchor. You can also find us on YouTube, and you can find us on Rumble. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna be honest with you. First off, let me just tell you of the news we got Tuesday afternoon. And look, I got a lot of news papers, news affiliated. You know, I got CNN, I got NBC, I got CNN, I got Fox News, Breitbart, Daily Wire, Political, and many other news stations on my devices. If you look around the studio, you will see that I have an iPad, I have a Mac computer, I got my iPhone, I got a lot of equipment that it feeds me information. And I'm gonna just start off right out of the bat. We like I said, we got news articles that were coming in left and right on Tuesday afternoon of a man named Salvador, I think it is. Let's see. I got the articles right here. An 18-year-old individual went ahead. Salvador Ramos. Salvador Ramos, 18 years old, went into an elementary school after shooting his grandmother and injuring his grandmother, and shot 21 people, 19 children, 2 teachers. And ladies and gentlemen, when you hear a story like this is the same thing with the Tops supermarket in Buffalo, New York. The first thing that comes to my mind is this is evil. This is evil, and this is cowardice. That an individual that hates the world all around him because somebody did something to him. Daily Mail had an article to where this young man was bullied because he wore eyelashes. And he hates the world. He hates the world all around him. And this has to be pure evil because you hate the world all around you. You think that you have no choice or you don't want to live. So you're going to go into an elementary school with young kids and open fire. And look, I'm going to say this. Thank God there was a man that drove by, a Border Patrol agent, which everyone is praising right now. We thank God for the Border Patrol agents. This man was part of a special unit, grabbed his gear, ran in that school, and shot that evil individual. Unfortunately, this individual is spending eternity now in hell. Oh, Isaac, you can't judge his heart. Well, by the actions, I can honestly say this man was not a God-fearing person. Because no one in their right mind that is God-fearing would go into a school and take innocent life. Christians like myself we protect life. That's why we're against abortion. That's why we just can't stand it, because we look at a life of a child and it's beautiful, and God created that individual, that small child that is special in the eyes of God. This individual was evil. And because of his evil heart, he decided to go into that school, Rhodes Elementary, and shoot up children. Took their lives way too soon. I'm good friends with Jonathan Steele, children's pastor at Family Worship Center in Baton Rouge, and he put a Facebook quote the other day. I'm going to go ahead and read it because it made a lot of sense, ladies and gentlemen. And look, and this is a children's pastor that I'm quoting right here. And it's his calling is to preach to young children. And this is his Facebook post. 2 days, that's how long it would be before summer break started for Robb Elementary. 14 students, now it's 19 students. Looking forward to summer vacation, no school, sports, and many other things they could do. However, the 19 students will never see summer vacation, and these families will never be the same again. 2 Corinthians 6:2 tell us that today is the day of salvation. Parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles, you aren't guaranteed tomorrow. We need to be proactive in giving the good news of Jesus Christ to everyone, including kids. Please keep the family of those that have been affected by this tragedy, that God would move on their behalf, and that the God of all comfort will be with them through this difficult situation. This is coming from a children's pastor. I'm a youth pastor at our local church. And some of these kids were in the age range of what my youth is. And this is, look, as a dad, I just can't imagine getting that phone call. I just couldn't imagine. Look, this is a tragedy. Like I said, this young man, this Salvador Ramos, is spending eternity in hell today because of his evil heart. Because he did not, and look, I'm going to be honest with you, like I said, no true Bible-believing Christian would ever do something like that. But this young man, if you see the pictures of this young man of his Instagram, he's just pure evil. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to get into the heart of evil right here. When you have a political party that just can't put politics aside, because this is how I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I'm feeling right now. This was a tragedy. It did involve guns. We understand that. But please put politics aside at least a day or 2 days. This is why I'm bringing this up. The President of the United States went ahead and addressed the nation. And his address to the nation, when he first started, I was hearing it, was talking about, we need to pray for the families. We need to go ahead. President Joe Biden addressed the nation on Tuesday evening, just hours after the mass shooting at the elementary school in Texas. Biden, who had just returned from Asia, his Asian trip, was visibly emotional as he began the speech, talking about the victims of the shootings. At least 18 children and 3 adults are dead, including the 18-year-old gunman. The death toll is reported to expect to rise expected to continue to rise, according to ABC. Biden started off his speech like this: "Another massacre," Biden said to start his brief remarks. Uvalde, Texas, a elementary school, beautiful, innocent second, third, fourth graders, and how many scores of children who witnessed what happened see their friends if they're in a battlefield, for God's sake. They will live with it with the rest of their lives. There's a lot we do not know yet. There's a lot we do know. The parents who we will never see their children again, never have them jump in bed and cuddle with them. Parents who will never be the same. Biden said, continue on describing the loss of the child of having a piece of your soul ripped away. Ladies and gentlemen, if Biden would have stopped right there, I would have commended President Biden. Because President Biden did right on that call. Look, let's pray for the families. Let's heal from this. See, ladies and gentlemen, he could have went ahead. Look, I would have even done that. I probably wouldn't have done. I probably would have started the podcast off on Sunday, but because of political idiots taking advantage of this situation, that's why I'm bringing it up. He asked the nation for prayer. Biden would have left everything alone and would have put it at least 2 days, Mr. President, 2 days. Other politicians, as we're going to talk about later on, if they would have just waited 2 days, I wouldn't have been angry. But listen to what Biden says after he makes this announcement of prayer. As a nation, we have to ask, when in God's name are we going to stand up to gun lobbyists? Biden asks. When in God's name will we do what we all know in our gut needs to be done? President Biden named other shooting events in recent U.S. history and declared that he is sick and tired of it. The president admitted that even tragedies can't be prevented, but argued that passing common sense gun laws has been proven to have an impact. Now, he mentioned that ban of assault weapons, crime went down, or shootings went down, but when the ban stopped, which has been by the Washington Post, been Pinocchio'd. The idea that an 18-year-old kid can walk into a gun store and buy 2 assault weapons is just wrong, he continued. What in God's name do you need an assault weapon for except to kill someone? Deer ain't running through the forest with Calvin vests on, for God's sake. It's just sick. Now, Biden has been a big proponent of gun control laws. But ladies and gentlemen, this is just mere hours after this shooting. Mere hours. And he's going to bring up politics. Ladies and gentlemen, that makes me sick. Oh, what you talking about, Isaac? That's the president of the United States. Shouldn't he talk about problems that are happening in the United States? Yes, that's his job. But instead of coming together and giving thoughtful and true empathy to the families, no, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and cut down gun lobbyists. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut down the sale of all assault weapons, which there is no, every gun could be considered an assault weapon. Oh, I'm talking about an assault rifle. A 270 Remington bolt action could be considered an assault rifle. Ladies and gentlemen, Biden missed the point here. Because Biden, you know my thoughts, but I have to repeat them because of the story. Ladies and gentlemen, it does not matter. It does not matter if you have an evil intent in your heart to hurt somebody. You will find a way to hurt that individual. If guns were not invented, let's imagine this. Let's imagine that guns were not invented. We would still have murders in this nation. We would still have mass murders. Oh, no, we wouldn't, because it's the gun that makes the person do it. No, it's the intent of the heart, ladies and gentlemen. The intent of that individual. That individual had bitterness in his heart, and he wanted to hurt somebody. It didn't matter if it was an AK-47 or a Glock 9mm. It could have been a stick. It could have been a hammer. It could have been a knife. It could have been a sword. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I got a question. Now, I've studied Roman history for years. There were Neros, Emperor Neros, murdered all the time. They were poisoned. They were stabbed. You're trying to tell me that in the time of the Roman Empire and all these millennials before the firearm was invented, they didn't have mass murders? Oh no, it was when the gun was involved. It's when the gun was invented. No, ladies and gentlemen. See, this is what the problem with the Democrat Party. They don't want to touch the issue. They don't want to touch the issue of matters of the heart. I'm going to go ahead and give you a little more. This is how, and this is why I'm saying Democrats they don't care about the people that are involved in this shooting. I'm going to make a claim. It might be bold, but I hope not. But by the way they're acting, it shows that they can't wait for this kind of stuff to happen. They don't care about the families. Why? Texas school shooting, Uvalde, Texas school shooting. Democrats demand gun control. Curse Republicans. F your prayers. This is coming from Fox Sports. Peter Hatson. Democrats rush to capitalize on the mass shooting at Rob's Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. On Tuesday, to demand gun control measures attack Republicans. Texas Greg Abbott identified the deceased suspect as Salvador Ramos, 18, who had a handgun and possibly a rifle when he opened fire at Rob's Elementary School, killing 18 students. Now is 19 students and 2 teachers, according to Abbott. 2 police officers were shot and 1 wounded, but they were expected to survive. The governor. Listen to this. This is a tweet from a Democrat. F your prayers. They haven't worked for the last 20 mass shootings. How about passing laws that will stop these killings? Representative Robin Galargo, Democrat, Arizona, tweeted to Representative Darrell Issa, Republican, California. Ladies and gentlemen, these are people that care about you. The Republicans are praying. They're saying, F your prayers. Real God-loving American citizens. I tell you that, ladies and gentlemen. Gallego also tweeted at Senator Ted Cruz. Just to be clear, F you, Ted Cruz, you effing baby killer. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Democrat Party. See, they want to call us Republicans and Second Amendment folks and conservatives, oh, y'all are baby killers. But in reality, ladies and gentlemen, they want to pass a bill that's going to kill babies at 9 months old. And they want to know why they're down in the polls, ladies and gentlemen. They want to know why they're down in the polls. One more article before I go. This is how Democrats capitalize off of people's suffering, ladies and gentlemen. Just a few minutes ago, we had Beto O'Rourke, gubernatorial candidate and former presidential candidate, run up to Greg Abbott at a press conference and tell him, your policies don't work. Your policies don't work. And we have a video show up. Beto O'Rourke runs to the stage and tells Greg Abbott, you're not doing enough. Ted Cruz said, get him out of here. Beto O'Rourke didn't go over there to voice the opinion of the people, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying. You know what Beto O'Rourke went over there to do? To make a scene. So he made, look, well, I'm running for governor. I can do better than that guy. Ladies and gentlemen, we have parents of 19 kids suffering today, knowing that their child is not coming home. Their child is sitting in a box, about to get buried 6 feet under. They won't see that kid graduate. They will not see that kid get married. They won't, I don't care what gender, race, or what type of person they were. They're not going to see their kids again. I just gave you 3 incidents from the president on down of representatives that's supposed to represent this country and mourn with the American people. No, they want to fight gun control at a time like this. I'll be right back after this short break. How you doing, everyone? Isaac here. I'm the Cajun Conservative, and I want to thank Brother Lanny Hayes from Hayes' Dump Truck Service for their generous support of the Cajun Conservative and Brothers Just Searching. Hayes' Dump Truck Service serves the Lafayette and surrounding areas. If you have any job that you need done, like cleanup or hauling material to your job site or your home, we haul limestone, we haul sand, we haul topsoil, any type of material you need. If you're in the Lafayette and surrounding areas, please call Brother Lanny Hayes at 337-852-8043. Remember, Hayes' Dump Truck Service, where Jesus is Lord of the company.
You're my peace of mind when this old world seems to get me down.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the second segment of the Cajun Conservative Show. Just came out from the Daily Wire. Texas Democrat Global National candidate Beto O'Rourke faces intense backlash on Wednesday afternoon after he crashes a press conference from the state top officers to promote his political ambitions. We had the mayor of Uvalde, the town where the shooting was, McGladden, blast O'Rourke, saying to his face, "I can't believe that you're a sick son of a bee, that you would come to a deal like this to make a political issue." Beto danced on the dead bodies of children. Political commentator Mike Kovac tweeted, "He will be celebrated by the regime media for this. They have no decency." And ladies and gentlemen, I got another topic for this segment. But I just quoted to you in the first segment our president, Backwards Joe. Then you had a congressman saying, "F your prayers and F you baby killers." Then you have Beto O'Rourke coming and trying to puff up his numbers to beat Greg Abbott in the gubernatorial election coming November. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you vote Republican. I don't know if you vote Democrat. But by golly, if you're going to go ahead and back this Democrat Party, this makes me sick. And look, this ain't the first time, ladies and gentlemen. The top supermarket. This happened. Oh, America's, this was a white supremacy. All America's racist. Oh, he shot him with a gun. Oh, he can't have. Oh, that gun, them evil, bad guns. In a school. Look, ladies and gentlemen, back to the person that did this mass shooting. And look, I'm praying for the victims. But the individual that went ahead with this, he was a sick individual. I'm sorry. And look, like I said, he's dead now. But this individual, just plain out evil. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I understand. Look, look, we got to pray for that man's family too, because I got to be hard on them to know that this evil individual had the intent to do this and hurt people like that. They're going to have to live with that stain for the rest of their lives. That man was a coward. And look, I'm going to be blunt. I hope if his family's, I'm praying for you because your relative did something bad. But this man was a coward. This man went into a building where he knew there would be no firearms. Or there was people there was nobody in there to really defend them kids. But when he came up against cops and guns, he hit like a little coward like he was. And ladies and gentlemen, the president on down calling for gun laws. Oh, we need to change the gun laws. We need to make common sense gun laws. Every criminal in America saying, yes, please do. Because I promise you, 2 more laws would not have stopped that individual from going to that school and massacring kids. But you can't get that through to a left-wing ideological nut like a Democrat. Oh, if we stop guns. Oh, we stop guns. 2 more gun laws would not have stopped that individual, ladies and gentlemen. But according to the left, we have to make it harder for him to find a gun. I promise you, if he wouldn't have bought them guns legally, he would have went on the streets and found a criminal that would have sold it to him. See, that's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I'm saying the heart. When you have a heart that's evil, it doesn't matter what the law is. You're going to break the law. That is why you're evil, because you're a lawbreaker. And look, I'm going to say this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be honest with you. The only one that can change your evil heart is Jesus. I accept him as my Lord and Savior. I've led a number of people to the Lord Jesus Christ. And that's the only one that can change a heart. I'm getting ready for a service right now where I'm talking about the Holy Spirit. When someone comes and gets saved, there's a regeneration inside them. The Holy Spirit comes down and lives inside of him and change that evil, old, nasty heart, that evil heart. This person was beyond evil. And like I said, I'm going to be honest with you. On that point, I feel sorry for that soul. That man went in there and got himself shot, and he's spending eternity in hell today. He deserves it. In our human eyes, yes, but Jesus could have forgave that man. But now, and look, I'm going to be honest with you. This was a sick coward running into a school. I read an article earlier about how he was bullied. I quoted it earlier from the Daily Mail. Oh, he was bullied because he wore eyelashes. And they try to bring that point out. He maybe had a femicide. I don't know. But you notice he didn't run into the high school. Because probably somebody would have, one of them high school students would have went ahead and jumped on, or maybe a high school student had a firearm in their truck. We don't know. Or their car. No, he went into a school, an elementary school with kids. This man didn't have the own gut to face kids of his age. Now, I'm not justifying. I don't think he. I'm glad. Let's just say, like, I didn't want him to go into any school. But ladies and gentlemen, the Democrat Party, that's what they're thinking. Oh, he wouldn't have got a gun at 18 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, if he wouldn't have bought a gun legally, he would have went into somebody's house, robbed them, took their guns, and then went do that. Because this was premeditated. It makes me sick. It makes me sick that's, and look, like I said, what makes me sick, the left don't have no decency. Like Beto O'Rourke. I just talked about Beto O'Rourke running up to that stage. What decency was that? I was taking a stand for gun violence. No, you're trying to make a name for yourself. Makes me sick, ladies and gentlemen. And this is why the Democrat Party does what they do. This came from Fox News. Democrats blaming voters for being stupid rather than acknowledging failed ideology policies. That came from Fox News, ladies and gentlemen. Greenwood said in the that was at the end of the article. As new polling shows, a majority of Americans believe President Biden is incompetent, aim at struggling economy and sparking inflation. Independent journalist Glenn Greenwood said Monday that the left and the mainstream media are gearing up to double down on their blame game. Greenwood reflected 2016 when Democrats struggled to grapple with the Hillary Clinton upset loss to Donald Trump, saying that instead of seeking introspect on the constructive campaign in further elections, the left sought to blame Americans, from Green Party nominee Jill Stein to Russia to the American people, for their failures. The Democrats lost an election they'll never expect to lose. They never expected to lose, and basically lost to a reality TV show host when Hillary Clinton had all backing of the establishment in the world, instead asking what is about our ideology that ruled the country for 8 years, that drove people away from us into Donald Trump's arms. They instead decided that they were going to blame everyone else, he said. Let me go ahead and go down a little bit. Let's see. The Democrats simply replaced Trump with some ideology they governed with 8 years under Obama that caused people to run away from them as fast as they could, he said. And now the people are doing that again. Instead of asking why is that happening, they're getting post to blame the electorate for being stupid for thinking the economy's bad when it's actually good. Ladies and gentlemen, do the Democrat Party honestly think we're dumb? And look, ladies and gentlemen, if this was the Republican Party saying this will be on Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, CBS, all the major news networks. The Republican Party calling the voters stupid? Ooh, how dare they say the American people are stupid? But because it's them, the media ain't flashing this around. Ladies and gentlemen, for the failed policies that the Democrats are doing, it's their fault. It is their fault. And look, I'm be honest with you. And look, the Democrat Party thinks the voters are stupid for giving them low numbers. But ladies and gentlemen, what they did Tuesday after the mass shooting in Texas, as I brought out in the first segment and half of this segment, do people really think we're that stupid? Excuse me. Yeah. Do they really think that we're? And look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry if I'm looking at a lot of devices. I'm just making sure we're not missing a news story here. But ladies and gentlemen, the Democrat Party thinks voters are stupid. I'm glad I'm not a Democrat. I'm glad I don't vote Democrat. Because a party that thinks that I'm stupid, that I can't make decisions for myself and I have to rely on the government, vote them out, please. All right, moving on. So we had some primaries last night, and Brian Kemp, Rosenberger won their respective primaries. They beat out two Trump-backed candidates. One was David Perdue, former senator of Georgia. Brian Kemp is going back and he's challenging Stacey Abrams, who ran unopposed in this primary, because every Democrat apparently wants her to win. I hope, and this is all from our Georgia listeners, if you are from Georgia, please express your feelings to me. Email me at thecajunconservative5@gmail.com. Facebook message me, post on my Facebook page, something. But Stacey Abrams is going to be a two-time failed gubernatorial candidate. I believe that. Look, and there was a lot of things went on with Georgia in the last election. And I believe there was some things that happened that shouldn't have happened, and the governor allowed it. I don't like Brian Kemp. He ain't my first choice. I wasn't a big fan of Rosenberger. Well, at the time, I did tell people they should not back him up. They should vote him out. But now is the time for you Georgia voters to go ahead and decide who's the lesser of two evils. Or are you going to go ahead and not vote and let Stacey Abrams ruin your state after Brian Kemp has done great things? And ladies and gentlemen, that's the difference between me and Donald Trump. And this is why Trump also went ahead and pulled his support from Mo Brooks, which, by the way, did get into a runoff with Battis, I think her name was. He's in the runoff in Alabama. That was one of the primaries on Tuesday as well. But all my Georgia listeners, listen up. Support Brian Kemp. And like I said, that's the difference with me and Donald Trump. Look, there's a lot of difference. Donald Trump's a millionaire. I'm not. Donald Trump's famous. I'm not. He was the president. I was never the president. But anyway, back to that. I did not agree with Brian Kemp's stance on the election. But at the same time, he did do some good things for Georgia. If I had to vote for Brian Kemp over John Bel Edwards, I would. But ladies and gentlemen, but if you're in Georgia, don't if you voted for David Perdue, please do not go ahead and hold your nose. Just hold your nose and vote. Because if you think Brian Kemp was bad, Stacey Abrams is going to be worse. Same thing with the Democratic side on Secretary of State. If you think, and if it's your opinion that there were some things that happened in the last election that shouldn't have happened, let a Democrat Secretary of State get in there. You're really going to have problems in Georgia. Also, Sarah Huckabee Sanders got the nomination for Arkansas governor. Also, Herschel Walker is going up against Warnock Ralph Warnock for senator. If you remember, 2 years ago, Ralph Warnock went ahead and ran for senator. There was some way or another where both senators of Georgia ran, and it screwed everything up. Herschel Walker. Now, to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, the way Herschel Walker went ahead and ran away, the Republican Party is really behind Herschel Walker. I think he wins that hands down. And that's some primary news that we got going on. And I wanted to go ahead and bring up this issue. If I don't finish it in this segment, I'm going to finish it on to the next segment. But we got on Monday a report. McCormick takes Pennsylvania Senate ballot fight to the court. Now, before coming on air, this the Wednesday, the 25th of May, we got word that this is going into a recount. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not against that. Look, Dr. Oz is it's right under 1,000 votes. This is a very, very tight election. And this is coming from a Trump-backed candidate and a Trump candidate that did not get the endorsement of Donald Trump. Dr. Oz got it. But ladies and gentlemen, this primary is super duper close. And I think they should go into a recount just to make sure it's the correct, because we need to make sure that every election is fair and balanced. We need to make sure that everything is done right, that all votes are right. And if Dr. Oz comes out on top of this recount election, he should be the nominee for the Republican Party. But McCormick is taking the Senate the fight to the courts. Why, you may ask? Well, apparently they had some ballots that were mailed in but did not have the date on the envelope that certified what day they were voted. According to Georgia law, according to the new law, remember the law that they call Jim Crow Era 2.0, you had to have a date on that envelope. If that date was not on that envelope, that vote could not be counted. Now, McCormick went ahead and said, I think the vote should be counted because it's postmarked that the day before. But Georgia and the courts already approved. I think it went to the Georgia Supreme Court, and it went to the Third Circuit Court of Appeals, and they said no, the law states that you have to have a date on there, which makes them votes invalid. See, McCormick had a advantage in the mail-in ballots, while the in-person ballots went to Dr. Oz. So now he's fighting in court to try to get that overturned. And even the RNC gave their opinion of. They said, look, don't do this. You know why, ladies and gentlemen? For the last 2 years, the Republican Party, or some in the Republican Party, has said that, oh, this last election was rigged. This last election was stolen from Donald Trump. And this looks bad, ladies and gentlemen. We know that the Democrats did things to change rules in the last election. That's proven. Even newspapers that are not conservative friendly has said that. But now this Republican is asking the court to change laws to benefit him to win an election. And ladies and gentlemen, on that alone, I hope Dr. Oz wins. Why? Because if a Republican cannot honor the votes or cannot honor the laws, we have an issue. And this shows me McCormick is probably a regular politician. Oh, I can't win. Look, like I said, this is a super duper close election, ladies and gentlemen. Last time I looked, Dr. Oz, I think, was at 800 and some votes ahead of McCormick due to recall. That's why we have systems in place. But no, McCormick I want them mail-in ballots counts because I know I'm going to win, so I'm going to do it. If that's the case, McCormick ain't even different than no Democrat. And that just rubs me the wrong way. And I don't think he should be the next senator of the United States. I don't care if he was backed by Trump. I don't care if he's America First. For you to try to change the laws or try to make a fair advantage so Dr. Oz can lose, I have an issue with that. I have an issue. And this man shouldn't be like that. So we got one more segment after this. Please stay tuned after this short break. We'll be right back.
Cheers and good on you, boys and girls. My name is Scott Ford, and I have a show on Rumble. It's the Scott Ford Show, all in one word, the Scott Ford Show, and it's on Rumble. And I also have a motivational success show on YouTube. So go ahead and subscribe and ring that bell. That would mean a lot to me. Enjoy your life. Thank you, Isaac. God bless.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Cajun Conservative Show, the third and final segment of this midweek episode. Unless you're listening a little behind, I'll forgive you. And look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a little more calm now. The first segment and a half, I was kind of edgy a little bit because the topic was it just hit me pretty hard. So anyway, so we just talking about elections. Stacey Abrams, the Democratic candidate for the gubernatorial race in Georgia, apparently don't know a few things. One, I'm going to talk about how she apparently does not like her state. What? And you might be like, wait, Isaac, what you talking about? Don't like her state? Well, Stacey Abrams was at a campaign event, and she said, well, let me see this. Gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams, talked about her state of Georgia Saturday. This missing rival gubernatorial Brian Kemp's claim that the Peach State is the best place to live and do business in the United States. Stacey Abrams had a tweet where she says, Georgia may be the #1 place for biz, but we're the 48th in mental health, 2nd in uninsured, #1 in mental morality, and new HVI cases, 9 in gun violence for too many. Kemp, Georgia doesn't include them. Why? Because Brian Kemp doesn't care. As governor, I lead one Georgia, that's one for all. So that's her tweet. Stacey Abrams may think differently, but I believe Georgia is the best state to live, work, and raise a family. And Marty and the girls and I will work hard every day until November comes, and that way we have 4 more years. So where this is coming from, Stacey Abrams made a claim that Georgia might be #1 in business, but isn't the best place to live. Now, according to some in the media, and in my opinion, you saying that you don't like where you live. And this is the thing about Stacey Abrams. I know Stacey Abrams may love the state of Georgia, and she's bringing up this, but her whole campaign, by the way, is voter suppression. Because I'm going to give you some history. Back in 2018, 2018, when she ran for governor and lost a very close race to Brian Kemp. Now, that's why I started out early when Brian Kemp won and telling the Republican Party, please, if you're in Georgia, vote for Brian Kemp. Hold your nose, vote for Brian Kemp, because it was very close last time. It might be closer this time, but the way that the Democrats are doing, I don't think it's going to be that close. But Stacey Abrams is running her whole campaign on voter suppression right now. But the way that she made her remarks were, well, I don't like Georgia, or I don't think Georgia is a good state to live. Yeah, that's Abrams' comments that Georgia is the worst state in the country. Don't be surprised if Stacey Abrams' comments that Georgia is the worst state in the country to live will be used against her by Republicans in the Peach State global nationalized general election campaign. Let me go ahead and read this. Abrams, who faced no oppression on Tuesday Democratic primary on Saturday, said that I am tired of hearing how we are the best state in the country to do business when we are the worst state in the country to live, during his speech at the Gwinnett Democratic Blue Topo Gala in Norcross. So yeah, Stacey Abrams saying she's the worst state. But anyway, back to that. Stacey Abrams lost a very close election. But her whole thing right now is that she lost that election because it was rigged against her. See, a lot of people don't remember that, ladies and gentlemen. She's running on this whole campaign that voter suppression, that people couldn't vote. That's why she lost the election. She still has not conceded the 2018 election. Now, she don't have to. Donald Trump didn't do it on the presidential election. But Stacey Abrams is running around calling for voter suppression. Now, this is coming from about a year ago when Georgia went ahead and Brian Kemp signed on it, and the Secretary of State pushed for it, of the new Georgia law, Jim Crow 2.0. That was the whole Democratic narrative, which has been proven false many times. But this election, now this primary election, this ain't the regular election. This is just where Republicans and people go vote to pick the candidate that they like. Had record numbers. A lot of numbers that came out. Now, Stacey Abrams, this is according to the Daily Wire, Stacey Abrams claimed that increased voting turnout has nothing to do with voter suppression. Then what is voter suppression? See, ladies and gentlemen, remember, this election was to stop people from going vote, but now they have some of the highest numbers in voter turnout for a primary. On Tuesday, Fox News flagged the interview Abrams gave to MSNBC Joy Reid Monday night when she said that there was no connection between voter suppression and turnout. And so she's saying, well, look, this doesn't see more people voting. That's nothing to do with suppression. Then what is it? And she came out. She said, well, voter suppression is not about stopping voting. It's about impeding certain voters from participating. And those voters, as you pointed out, are likely to be highly active in primaries. Adam added. Now, ladies and gentlemen, no, people went vote. People had a record turnout. Mean a lot of people went vote. And if this bill was stopping people from voting, they wouldn't have this high number, or it would have just been Republicans. You wouldn't have had no Democrats. Now, this is also another problem for Stacey Abrams right now, because she is included in what I'm about to say. And I'm not gonna take this credit that there was a lady on Newsmax. I was watching the election, and she went ahead and made this statement, and it's true, by the way. I'm just being honest. Stacey Abrams is running around the state of Georgia right now, and all she's saying is voter suppression. Oh, you're stopping black people from voting. Oh, you're not letting the black people have their voice. Oh, you're not. Ladies and gentlemen, don't you realize last Tuesday you had Herschel Walker, Ralph Warnock. Well, I should call him Warlock. That's a good nickname for him. Ralph Warlock. Warnock ran two years ago and won. He's a black man. Herschel Walker's a black man, and she's a black lady running for the state of the gubernatorial race. Now, a lot of people might say, well, Isaac, hold on, hold your horses, stop. It ain't November yet. Probably them black people won't get in because of voter suppression. Well, Herschel Walker's going to get in. Or Warnock, they will have a black senator. Stacey Abrams, if there was so much of trying to stop her, and she wouldn't be running. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what I don't get about the left. They will talk about voter suppression. They'll talk about how black people can't vote, or minorities can't vote. How minority candidates can't get in on the ballot. But ladies and gentlemen, you have tons of candidates, and Republican as well as Democrat. Lieutenant Governor Sears from the state of West Virginia. Virginia. She's African American, or no, she might be Jamaican, but she got in. There's a lot of minorities that are running for seats right now, and a lot of them getting on. But that's why I'd say this nation might have some racist people, but by far this nation is not racist. And I just think that what I just mentioned, now she's talking about voter suppression and have a high voter turnout. And look, there was even one story, and I can't remember where I read it at. It might have been the Daily Wire, where they had a voter that went in there and said, I was hearing about all these new Georgia laws, how it was Jim Crow 2.0, how everything was evil, and we would have a hard time to vote. She said, I got in there. I was welcomed with open arms. I was treated fairly. They smiled. They gave me a vote sticker, and this lady was like, man, this was a good experience. because, ladies and gentlemen, the left feed on racism. They feed on gun violence. They feed off of all this stuff. They work on the emotions of people. And when it's time for them to lead, like they have now, the House, Senate, and the presidency, they don't get nothing done. If they get something done, it hurts the nation. Just my thoughts. All right. So let's go ahead and turn to another story. Michael Sussman trial is going on, and it was told last time they were in the court, or a few days ago, that Hillary Clinton knew about it, and she gave the okay for them to go ahead and smear Donald Trump and try to get the votes. This was all supposed to be a part of a surprise, October surprise. Sussman's trial, and now this is the whole thing about this. Now, this was, like I said, Hillary Clinton. It was a bombshell testimony from the former Hillary Clinton campaign manager, and he testified that Clinton approved the dismantling of material to the media alleging a secret communication channel between the Trump organization and the Russian bank, despite campaign officials not being totally confident in the legitimacy of the data. See, they told Hillary Clinton, hey, they got this thing going on. It might be true, but it might. And she said, run with it. Hey, I can become president of the United States. This is why I'm bringing up this story. Sussman's trial, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, NBC ignored testimony that Clinton okayed leaking of Trump-Russian accusations. So, ladies and gentlemen, the big three medias, MSNBC, CBS, all of them, they ignored this. Now, I wrote this on my notes. If this was Trump, wouldn't the media be reporting this night and day? See, ladies and gentlemen, if it was proven that Donald Trump went ahead and colluded with Russia went ahead and found some dirt on Hillary Clinton and tried to use it against her, and it was false, and Trump okayed it from his lawyer friend who was working in the campaign. This was Trump. Oh my goodness, Trump is stuck in a scandal. Trump it's evil. How dare he do? How dare he spread false information? Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just thinking of this. This is happening now. January 6th was 2 years ago, and you have a false committee in Congress, including 2 Republicans, that voted to impeach Donald Trump. So they have partisanship on this, that are calling congressmen to try to find some dirt on Donald Trump. And this committee has been there for almost 2 years now, a year and a half, and they still haven't came up with nothing. Wait a minute, they did do this to Trump again, ladies and gentlemen. Remember the Robert Mueller investigation, where it took 2 years, where even the Republican Party is like, well, we can't go ahead and endorse Donald Trump or pass any of his policies because he was illegitimately in there. He had the Russians colluding with him to win the election. There was no proof there. Robert Mueller proved that it wasn't there. But guess what? There's still people today, if you tell them, hey, Russia colluded with Trump to win the election, they still believe it. Ladies and gentlemen, but Hillary Clinton knew this was false. But according to MSNBC, CBS, ABC, and other news networks, that's not a big story. That's not a big story to talk about. We don't need to talk about that. And look, don't get me wrong. They're gonna find everything else. Like the mass shooting happened this week, that should be #1 coverage. But this was done before the mass shooting in Texas. I believe I got this article on Monday. Let me see. Let's see. Either Monday or early Tuesday. Let's see where I found it at. I know I got it in my notes. I can't find it. I must have deleted it. I got it on my notes. Let me see when the story was written. Because 2 days ago. Let's see. Yeah, because at the time of the recording, yeah, this was done on Monday. The Sussman's trial. So this was done on the 23rd. the shooting happening on the 24th. Like I said, the shooting should be headline news. I'm not against that. But this was 2 days ago. And Hillary Clinton is none across the news. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this just shows that the media is biased. That the media is just it's partisan. Just basically saying. All right, so in the last couple of minutes, I want to go ahead and talk about Biden's trip to Asia, which has been overrun with a lot of other news, but we should be aware of what Biden has said. Biden has promised Taiwan that he would defend pledge inflamed U.S. Biden's Taiwan offense pledge inflames U.S.-Chinese relationship. This is according to Politico. Now, I'm surprised Biden never said this because this really hurt. He's real good friends with China. The White House moved swiftly to clarify President Joe Biden's, or backwards Joe as we call him here at the Cajun Conservative, comments, but his assertion Monday that the U.S. would military defend Taiwan in the event of a Chinese invasion attempt may actually pave the way to conflict in the Taiwan Strip. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's some Chinese people there. There's some Chinese military practices happening outside Taiwan. China has always wanted Taiwan. It's the same thing with Russia and Ukraine. Russia always wanted Ukraine. It was just a matter of time when they invaded. But the difference with us is that Taiwan and us, we have a treaty, and we're supposed to protect Taiwan. Is the second time since October that the aides have had to walk back Biden's comments that appear to reverse the long time policy of strategy regarding U.S. willingness to defend Taiwan. As the president said, our policy has not changed. He reiterated our one China policy and our commitment to peace and stability across Taiwan Strait. The White House officer said on Monday in a statement he has also reiterated our commitment under the Taiwan Resolution Act to provide Taiwan with the military means to defend itself. So, ladies and gentlemen, apparently the president didn't have a good trip to Asia. He went ahead and said, hey, we're going to protect y'all. Now all of a sudden, no, wait a minute, hold on. Backwards Joe, ladies and gentlemen, says something and always backtracks on it. Also, what happened, Biden seemed to praise high gas prices as an incredible transition Americans must go through. This is coming from Fox News. So Biden said, backwards Joe said that the country is going through an incredible transition away from fossil fuels via the high gas prices being expanded nationwide. Biden made a statement as gas prices during a press conference with Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida on Monday. Here's the situation, and when it comes to the gas prices, we're going through an incredible transition that is taking place, that God willing, when it's over, we'll be stronger and the world will be stronger and less reliant on fossil fuels when this is over, Biden says, seemingly to justify or praise these high sky prices America's face at the pump. Ladies and gentlemen, Democrats do not care about you, ladies and gentlemen. I've been hearing a while, and look, this has happened. You know, I heard Senator Ted Cruz say this the other day on a video on Facebook. He said, you know, Biden's blaming Ukraine and Russia and all these people for the high gas prices, but gas prices were going up way before because, ladies and gentlemen, if you remember on the campaign, Biden went ahead and said, I'm going to go ahead and ease us off of fossil fuels, and we get more reliant on electric cars or some other form of energy like solar panels. You know, and he wasn't on America Coast right here. I don't know if they had American journalists there, but I would have pressed him on it. Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. He made me feel comfortable by saying that. But ladies and gentlemen, just these two comments right here shows that backwards Joe is still moving backwards. And for him to come off this trip, like in the first segment as I talked about, him coming off this trip and bashing gun lobbyists, I don't see a good week for the president right here, ladies and gentlemen. Because like I said, look, we should defend Taiwan because they're part of our, they have our have a treaty or whatever with us. But China's already in lockdowns because of the new strain of COVID-19. And we're in an uphill battle, ladies and gentlemen. And then this right here, praising high gas prices. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an article and I didn't quote it because I'm running out of time. But there's a gas station in San Francisco, out of all places, have went over $6 a gallon. Remember, Donald Trump said to y'all guys, he said to all of us, if y'all put Biden in there, y'all be paying $7 a gallon of gas. Everybody, Donald Trump, knee slapper. That would never happen in the great United States of America. Biden got into office, gas prices is sitting at $6, $1 short of a national average. I want to thank you for listening to the Cajun Conservative Show. Once again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Love every single one of you. Please continue to support the Cajun Conservative Show by sharing this out to a friend. Text it, share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on True Social. Until next week, or until next time, be blessed, be encouraged. Remember, Jesus Christ is coming back, and he's coming back soon. So don't be faint of heart, because Jesus has overcome the world. Until next time, you have a good one. Bye-bye.
He said that Jesus Christ has risen, and he is the open door.